good day, dear friends. It's very nice that there are people in a so far country who are interested in our education, our universities, and also world experience in nuclear applications. As was already said, I represent National Research Nuclear University Engineering Physics Institute, and actually a branch of this university located in Obninsk, which is very close to Moscow. In our university, our students study a lot of different things about nuclear applications. But my topic today is very narrow, I would say. Today I choose to talk only about food irradiation. But still, first of all, I'd like to say to you that generation shall understand today that there are very many applications of nuclear technology. Probably most people know about nuclear power engineering for electricity generation. And also a very popular topic today is the medical applications of nuclear technologies. And you see some other things. The third in my slide is food industry. Well, food industry and food security is a very acute question today, point for many countries. Because with our growing population and with our desire to have a nice life, we would like to have no problems in food security. Well, and among many different technologies, nuclear in this field are also very helpful in many means. For example, today nuclear technologies in food industry are used for pest control, for inhibition of sprouting, such as potato or some other like carrots and so on. There are many ideas about stimulation of growth processes and accelerated maturation of crops, species breeding, and so on. And you see in my list, in the last point is food irradiation. Also, this is last in this list, but it is not the list in the world. I would say that food irradiation is one of the most promoted technologies in food industry with nuclear application. And let me explain what is it. First of all, yes, really I would like to say what for do we do food irradiation. Everybody knows, I think, that ionizing... Right. So what for do we apply food irradiation? I think everybody knows that ionizing radiation can effectively kill different organisms if doses are large and the impact is severe. In the problem of food security, we would like to minimize the impact of bacteria, viruses, different parasites on the quality of the food. There are very large losses of food products because of their spoilage with microorganisms and bacteria. So this is one part. The other part is that, of course, we care about human health, and also food of not very good quality can provoke different foodborne diseases. So we would like to clean our food bacteria and microorganisms, which can be done perfectly with the help of ionizing radiation. Let me say a few words about history of this question. Probably you know that the era of nuclear applications started in 1894 when German scientist Konrad Röntgen discovered X-rays. Then very soon this new phenomenon, ionizing radiation, was studied in many works, and also very soon first ideas appeared about application of ionizing radiation to kill microorganisms and to sterilize food this way. And you see that more than 100 years ago, first applications, first pilot studies started already. But the most intensive application of food irradiation started in the middle of last century when we created good installations for irradiation, when we obtained good experience of application of this. And especially intensive applications started in around 1970s, after many years of checking of technology for security for human health. How does ionizing radiation work in this case? When we talk about microorganisms and bacteria, which are essentially unicellular organisms having very simple DNA, I hope that all our participants know about genetic structure of our cells and organisms and have heard about DNA molecule. And in bacterial cells, DNA is the simplest. This is just a like molecule. And when ionizing radiation interact with atoms and chemical bonds in different molecules, it can break effectively these bonds. So we can have a rupture in this ring molecule, after which it cannot be used for replication. And the replication,
are you going to Chantal?
replication process is
I'm
important
active now. Look at me.
for propagation of microorganisms. Can we ask you please to put off your microphones, Agar Hussein?
Agar Hussein, please put off your microphone.
Agar Hussein, do you hear us? Would you please put off your microphone? So let me continue. Now I'm going to talk about the typical applications. About typical applications of food irradiation. First in history was irradiation of spices. You could think that this is a bit strange. What for do we need to irradiate spices? How does it refer to microorganisms and spoilage processes? But I think you know very well how spices are produced, grown, and manufactured. Usually spices are grown in tropical countries, where the environment is full of microorganisms and similar things, and at the production of these food products, we are going to have heavy contamination with bacteria and so on. And then also spices are stored for a long period of time, during which we can have increased population of microorganisms. And also, what can we else do to decrease population of bacteria? We can, for example, apply chemicals. But you understand that for spices it doesn't work. They will not be edible. They will lose their taste and flavor, right? So actually there are not many ways to improve the food security of spices. And now it is perfectly done with the help of radiation. And this list includes not only spices, but a lot of dry products, powder-like products. You can see some list of them here. Yeah, they in our food industry, in medicine, in health industry, we apply a lot of different products which look powder-like, and to decontaminate them, we can use now irradiation. The second example, where also food irradiation was implemented with very great success, seafood. And you know, happened a bit of fun, I would say, in history, because seafood like oysters or well, I don't know, lobsters, they are rather luxury food for very rich people. And such people want to have it of the best quality. But in reality, it happens that such foods, specifically oysters, could be with viruses and parasites. And you know, they are usually eaten fresh, not cooked, right? So how to get rid of these parasites and viruses? And it was found that irradiation works very well against this problem. Later, irradiation was applied for other seafood. You see the long list of such products here, and today it is done perfectly. I think that in your country you also use a lot of seafood, and now routine fish products could be also treated to prolong the shelf life. What is also interesting that ionizing radiation can well penetrate through different materials. For example, through walls of cans or other packaging material. And we can apply now radiation not only for treatment of fresh seafood or other products, but also for preserves. So see, first you pack your food, create vacuum so that bacteria cannot penetrate into it from inside. Then you irradiate these preserves and kill all bacteria inside. And then you can store your food, your preserves for a very long period of time because of absence of microorganisms inside, which can start the process of spoilage of the food. The next group of products are meat, different meats and poultry. And also first, when they decided about this application, they just met a problem that minced meat is often been contaminated with bacteria which are called Escherichia coli, maybe you've heard about. As minced meat is in contact with surfaces, with, I don't know, hands, with different equipment, it can be very easily contaminated with it. How to get rid of bacteria? Well, you can maybe fry this meat to very deep state. But you know, it is especially nice when it is not very deep cooked, not at very high temperatures. And as a result, there were a lot of foodborne diseases from such burgers. The history started in United States of America, and because of this problem, first minced meat was prohibited for consumption, and of course it was not people were not happy about it. Finally, Ministry of Health permitted to apply ionizing radiation to clean this minced meat against microorganisms. And after it occurred safe, and irradiated meat started being sold in supermarkets and everywhere. Now this sign you see on this package of meats, it is written irradiated, right? Irradiated. And now it serves as a sign of very good quality. Later, of course, other products, other types of meat were treated this way. And well, you can see how well this technology works. You see this piece of meat packed into a vacuum package, right? Imagine if you put it on your table and leave. Yeah. I think maybe another day it's already not recommended to eat it because of the spoilage process. But if you irradiate this pre-packed, well-sealed piece of meat, you can store it at your kitchen at room temperature about 10 days without any harm, without any risk. It will be still fresh and good. And also, this technology is applied, as I said, for other types of meat food, not only fresh meats, but like frozen maybe, or pre-packed, or semi-ready, as you can see in this slide. And always you prolong shelf life of these food products for many days, which is, of course, very good for business and just for human health. Also, I would like to mention some special diets where also food irradiation is applied. For example, there are a group of patients with problems in immune system, so that they can't overcome even small presence of microorganisms in food. For them, we can apply also food irradiation to sterilize this food and eradicate absolutely all microorganisms and bacteria in it. And then it will be safe. Also interesting examples are about food irradiation for astronauts. You know, maybe, yeah, it's interesting, fancy thing, food for astronauts. And they are specifically prepared. They must withstand these conditions in outer space. They should be stored for a long period of time. And, well, now they are treated with radiation also. And a similar example is for rations for military forces. Also, maybe you know that every country having army wants to have rations with a very long storage period. And usually requirement is to have enough food for 50 years of supply of their soldiers, right? So to provide safety for 50 years, you need something very strong to apply for this food. And now you can sterilize such rations with the help of radiation. It is really applied today in several countries. And additionally, let me mention that food irradiation can be done not only for people, but also for our animals. We all like pets, yeah, and well, we would like them healthy. So also to improve quality of their food, now ionizing radiation is applied. But you can see also farmed animals like cattle or other farmed animals. Their health is also very much dependent on the quality of their rations. And different diseases can penetrate to them exactly through feed. And now, instead of chemicals, we use ionizing radiation to improve quality of their feed. Well, the final example of applications in the field of food industry is just sterilization of a packaging for food. You see here some examples of dairy products, right? Milk or something else. And the dairy products is maybe the only type of products for which direct food irradiation is not applied because they change their odor. But nevertheless, we can do sterilization of packages and this way prolong shelf life of this product. So they started from package for dairy products, but later other types of packaging material started being irradiated also. And I think you drink different juices and beverages, also very good quality, is now provided by ionizing sterilization, by radiation sterilization. And well, one more example here, maybe not the best example for children, but this is just like example how we can sterilize different commodities. You see, this is wine corks, right? And again, to improve shelf life of wines. Now, in that countries who manufacture good wines, they sterilize corks with ionizing radiation. All right. Next, let me say a few words about irradiation facilities where this process is done. Actually, such irradiation facilities are very simple in design. You just need some room, large hall, where the source of irradiation is installed. I hope you can see it there. Yeah, this is irradiator. This room shall be closed so that people couldn't come there in time of processing of food because of very high doses of radiation which are harmful for food. But everything is done automatically. We have some conveyor, put food packages on this conveyor, and they are put along irradiator, where doses delivered to the products, and packages, boxes, or some, I don't know, other type of packaging material are not a problem, because ionizing radiation can easily penetrate through any materials and kill bacteria inside. Immediately after irradiation, these food products are already absolutely safe. There are no microorganisms, and there are no risks of using it. You can immediately touch, take, or even eat these products right after irradiation. Couple of photos. Yeah, you see, this is such irradiation facility in Japan of quite old design. This photo is also old already, but it shows very well how it's done. You see potato in these cages, staying in circle, and in the middle there is irradiate. Right, so the food is processed for some period of time, and then it is taken out. Next photo, you can see more modern facility. It is one of the facilities in Russia where gamma irradiation is applied. Actually, in all photos, you can see very little, because the most interesting thing, irradiator itself, yeah, and the irradiating hole, are closed for vision. You can't go there during the process. But you can well see here the conveyor with these products drawn, and this worker who has a control panel here, and pay attention to the fact that this worker touches these packages without any concerns, because really they are absolutely safe immediately after. One more example of similar facility, just here, another type of irradiator is used. Typically, we use two types of sources. In first photo, in previous photo, there was gamma emitting radionuclides, radioisotopes. In this case, they use accelerators of charged particles, actually accelerators of electrons, so they are called E-beam irradiators. And also the same, you can see conveyor with these boxes moving with the help of this conveyor. You can see also some strange system. Yeah, this is special system for rotating of the boxes with the food products to provide irradiation of them from two sides. In this case, we have better distribution of dose inside of product, more homogeneous distribution of dose. Oh, well, so these are just examples how it can look in real life. I understand that one of the most often questions about food irradiation is a question about safety of this food. And most often people ask, could it be that this food is radioactive after treatment? Maybe you also think about this question. So understanding of it, of course, depends on your knowledge about physics of ionizing radiation and its interaction with matter. But also, I think it can be explained in very simple words. In food irradiation, we apply external sources of radiation so that these rays come through food, kill bacteria inside and leave this food product. So nothing bad, nothing wrong is left inside of food. And of course, there is no radioactivity inside. Maybe you experienced X-ray survey for you, or maybe somebody of your relatives did X-ray survey. And you know, after eating a man, a human being is not radioactive. And the snap, this photo after X-ray survey, is also not radioactive, of course. Radiation comes through, starts some chemical and physical processes inside, but it doesn't leave any radioactivity inside. Well, actually, this question about radioactive safety, radiation safety of food was studied many, many years. And finally, there is a conclusion of very authorized international organizations, such as Food and Agriculture Organization, or International Agency for Atomic Energy, or World Health Organization. They all stated, after studying all possible data, that radiation safety is absolutely provided. And only limitations are set for the types of radiation. Now food radiation is permitted only with these three types of source. As I mentioned, this is gamma radiation from radionuclides, and these are electronic beams obtained as E-beam accelerators. And also X-rays, which are also produced with the help of electronic beams. And there are some limitations for energy of these beams, which are very easy to follow. So actually the question about radioactivity of food is a kind of, sorry to say, it's stupid question. It's not radioactive. More serious question is about possible toxicity of irradiated food, because when radiation breaks chemical bonds in substances, potentially there could be risk of formation of some toxic substances as a result. But again, this question was deeply studied. And finally, with a very large level of conservation, with a very large safety factors, they put this limit for the dose. Well, I understand that you probably don't know the unit for dose absorbed. Dose absorbed is measured in grays, and the limit here is 10 kilograys. So, well, just believe that there is a limit for amount of radioactivity delivered to food. And when it is kept, then food is absolutely safe from toxicological point of view. And also the third type of questions about food safety is a discussion of nutritional value of food. Because again, you know, when we cook food, for example, when we boil it, high temperatures destroy vitamins and other substances, proteins and so on. They could be destroyed. And definitely there is a question how ionizing radiation influences on this quality of food. Actually, ionizing radiation and ionizing treatment is a cold process because there is no increase in temperature. Maximum increase is about 1 or 1.5 degrees of centigrade. Of course, there are no risk for degradation of nutritive elements. So again, for precautions, international organizations put the limit of 10 kilograys at which we provide high quality of food irradiation. Right. I must say that there are international standards and the countries applying food irradiation and also importing irradiated food to other countries. They shall follow these standards. Well, this provide us a high level of safety. And also a couple of thoughts about labeling of food irradiated. There is such international symbol called radura. it was decided to use this symbol to indicate that food was radiated. But actually, this is not obligatory requirement. Providers and producers of food can just write on food, like here, yeah, that it was radiated. So somehow you shall indicate that this technology was applied. As a example of labeling of food with a Radura symbol, I will show you this photo. You see, this is food for pets, right? And you can recognize Radura symbol here. So maybe now you will try to find such symbol in other products in your supermarket. Well, so the last words are about benefits from food irradiation. The main benefit is that we can kill all bacteria, parasites, viruses, microorganisms, and so on with very high efficiency. As radiation can penetrate and reach any point inside of food, it can kill all these undesirable creatures and clean our food. But also talking about benefits, we could compare other methods of food treatment with the purpose to prolong shelf life. Most known for people are thermal methods. Yeah, we cook our food. We can treat it with steam or, well, create high temperatures another way with the help of microwave, for example. But in all these cases, we can destroy some substances. There are also other methods which are called cold treatment of food, where we can apply chemicals to kill bacteria. But you understand that this is not the best idea for food, because we are going to eat these chemicals then, and they could be very dangerous, very toxic. There are some other physical methods, for example, ozone or ultraviolet or ultrasound. They are used, but in limited amount. And finally, ionizing radiation as a method gives us many, many pluses. So temperature is low, sensory and nutritive attributes of food are not changed. There are no chemical residues toxic for our health. Fantastic is that we can apply it to sealed or packaged food and kill bacteria inside of these packages. Then finally, it appears that it is economically viable, so the cost is not as high, and it wins from other methods. And finally, there are no environment contamination, which is always a problem for chemicals. So finally, today, there are a lot of facilities where we apply irradiation of different materials. Irradiation can be done for food, for medical stuff, for different industrial products. So actually, there are many purposes and applications today. You can visit, if you're interested, you can visit this IA database. It's open for users. You can find it on the internet and explore the facilities which exist. I shall say that exactly for food irradiation today, about 200 irradiation centers work in more than 60 countries. The most promoted food irradiation is in your region. The leader is China, but also in such countries as Vietnam and Indonesia, food irradiation is now implemented at very large rates. They construct new centers for food irradiation because this is very good, very effective, and safe. Well, so that's actually all. I hope that you got some interesting things from my presentation, and of course, I'll be happy to answer questions if you have them. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor ALLA UDALOVA. And now we give the floor to the researcher of Tomsk Polytechnic University, Nikita Skorikov.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Screen share. Good morning or good afternoon, dear colleagues and participants. The topic of my today's presentation is a partnership between nuclear industry, university, and research institution capacity building for partner countries. And my speech will consist of two parts. First, about TPU, because I think not everyone knows what is this university and where it's located, and the partnership between industry, university, and research institution. And the second part will be about our experience in operating the research reactor and applications of research reactor in our university. And start from the May 11, 1896, when Emperor Nicholas II signed a decree on establishment of a Tomsk Technological Institute of Practical Engineers. There is also Mendeleev was an active participant in committees for the development of the project to create the institute. And Stolypin, the chairman of the Council of Ministers of the Russian Empire, during a visit to the Tomsk Technological Institute, says that the institute is well equipped and all training course disciplines are taught primarily through practical classes. And nowadays it remains. Rating and partners, Tomsk Polytechnic University is a leader in educational and research in a wide range of engineering fields. TPU is the flagship university of Gazprom, Rosatom, Rosneft, and other high-tech companies. Our partnership between industry, university, and research institution provides a strong example of how such cooperation can effectively support national nuclear programs, train specialists, and transfer knowledge and technologies to other countries. And the successful partnership relies on the participation of several types of organization. Industry partners, such as Rosatom enterprises and nuclear technology companies, contribute operational experience, real industrial tasks, funding, and access to facilities. They help define the practical skills that future specialists must have and provide internship, on-field training, and applied research projects. For example, our cooperation with GINR, Education and Science, and the joint study with Rosatom. On our side, universities represented by TPU provide a formal education, academic supervision, degree programs, laboratories, and training infrastructure. They design curriculum and training modules that match industry requirements and prepare students for real nuclear operation. Research institutions bring specialized laboratories, unique research reactors, testing facilities, and scientific expertise. They are essential for high-level research, experimental work, and development of new technologies. And together, these partners create a coordinated capacity-building ecosystem where educational, research, and industry needs are aligned. This leads to sustainable development of nuclear personnel and national nuclear infrastructure in partner countries. So let's move on to the second part of the speech, where I will talk in more detail about research reactor and our experience of the working. Also, there is a not only research reactor, but our other facilities on the TPU in TPU program, like RGT nuclear research reactor with a capacity of 6 megawatts. Laboratories located in the research reactor, clean rooms complex to produce radiopharmaceuticals, technological complex to produce radiopharmaceuticals based on technetium-99M, technological complex for neutron capture therapy. Also, there is a cyclotron complex for radiopharmaceuticals production, and cyclotron RM7 with energy of 12 megaelectron volt. In the next slides, you will see why it's exactly 12 megaelectron volt. And there is 17 building and facilities on the reactor site. The total area of the premises is more than 100,000 square meters. On the picture, you can see the plan of the reactor, and the type of the reactor is a pool type. Reactor power or capacity I already said is 600 megawatts. Number of experimental channels is 10 horizontal and 40 vertical ones, where different types of exercise are conducted, even for students, international students. And also in the next slides, I will tell more about this. Reflector is a method beryllium, moderator and coolant water. I think the maximum fast neutron flux and thermal neutron flux is not necessary for school children, but it's on the slide. And average annual output is 3,600 hours. And one of the most important applications of research reactor is isotope production. Key characteristics of high-quality isotope products include high specific activity and chemical purity, and also radiochemical purity. The production chain includes preparation of targets, encapsulation in radiator containers, load in reactor core channels. I already said there is dozens of such type of channels in our research reactor. Radiation that happens in the reactor core, and chemical procedures, packaging, and transportation to customers in the final. Research reactor produces a huge variety of isotopes with various applications. Among the medical isotopes are diagnostic. For diagnostic is technetium-99m and xenon-133. For therapy is iridium-192, iodine-125, 131, lutetium-177, and others. For palliation is rhenium-186, samarium-153, strontium-89, and yttrium-90. It's all stages of therapy, of medical therapy, started from diagnostic when you locate the tumor, and then the therapy occurs. And if therapy is not helping, the palliation is coming, and it covers all needs of medical application of isotopes, and all of them are produced on our research reactor. And there is also an industrial application of isotopes, and industrial isotopes such as cobalt-16 and cesium-137 and iridium-190 and many others are used for industrial radiography, radiation technology, and calibration sources. Production examples include molybdenum methanol, which is produced from uranium-235 fission, followed by chromographic separation and solid extraction, and lutetium-177 obtained via neutron activation of yttrium or lutetium-176. These isotopes play crucial roles in nuclear diagnosis and targeted therapy. The next one is biological sciences. Research reactor also support biological sciences. Isotope methods such as geochronology is the science of determining the age of rocks, minerals, and geological events. And one of the most widely used approaches is argon geochronology, based on radioactive decay of potassium. Samples are irradiated with neutrons, and again, the core potassium converted to argon-39 and then argon-40, and the ratio of the two isotopes and measured using a mass spectrometer. And measuring the ratio helps you to find the exact age of the rocks or maybe samples. And the method used to date rocks from 2000 years to 4.6 billion years, and suitable for dating volcanic rocks, metamorphic minerals, geological events such as eruption and cooling histories, which is useful, very useful in geochronology. I think I will skip the boring numbers about the requirements for this argon geochronology, and skip to the next is fission track geochronology, which is quite same interesting as argon geochronology, but fission track dating using microscopic tracks left by nuclear reaction minerals. The most commonly used mineral is apatite. You can see on slide. and which is used for low temperature thermochronology. It's for Russia, it's very useful. On this slide, you can see workflow started from mineral selection. Rock samples are crushed and minerals are separated. In this case, apatite separation and preparation, you can see on the third picture, where grains are mounted on epoxy resin, are audited usually to hold them securely, and sample is cut, polished, and after etching, tracks are become visible under the microscope. Here you can see it on the last picture. There's little scraps on the mineral. Okay, next one is control transmutation. Else research reactor plays a major role in control transmutation, especially silicon transmutation doping, which is conducted on the Tomsk research reactor. Silicon transmutation doping, such as converting stable silicon 30 into phosphorus 31, also stable dopant product. It is quite interesting, but I think better to view it in the person on field, and maybe if you go to our university, you will see it on our research reactor. But also there is another one application is for transportation, is a gemstone colorization, cooler modification of gemstones, creation commercial gem enhancement through neutron irradiation. For example, blue topaz that produced on TPU's research reactor. Untreated topaz, you can see on the picture, is colorless or pale after irradiation and heating intense blue colorization. The most sufficient conditions that to create stable color centers in topaz are neutron fluence around 10 in power 17 to 10 power 18 centimeters in the power -2, and there is a needed 50 to 100 hours of radiation, and of course the radiation source, in our case it's a 2 megawatt research reactor, and again after irradiation there is remains a little amount of radioactivity, so there is a storage time of from 2 to 10 months of storage, allows induced radioactivity to decay to safe levels before the commercial use. And on the picture you can see and visual examples of topaz is untreated, again colorless topaz, irradiated and heated blue topaz shades, coated topaz color produced by surface treatment, and the last one is just irradiated pink or purple tones from irradiation alone. The last major application is neutron capture therapy. It's the last, but I think it's the most important for human and for us all. It's core principle of that is a thermal or epithermal neutron is captured by boron. You can see on the slide is this equation, and after reaction produces an alpha particle and lithium nucleus. These particles, maybe you know, maybe not, they have very short ranges comparable to cell diameters, and as a result only boron containing cells are destroyed, and different regions pursue different neutron spectra. For example, Japan is focused on thermal neutron beams, while Europe and USA emphasizes on epithermal neutron beams with energy range from 0.5 electron volt to 10 kilo electron volt, because they penetrate tissue more deeply and thermalize inside the body near the tumor. Minimum epithermal neutron flux is 10 in power 9 centimeters in power -2 multiplied by second in -1, and to ensure sufficient reaction rate in boron-loaded tumor cells. Of course, there are requirements for beam quality. You can see on the slide the list of them. That fast neutron needs to be minimum, but those of epithermal neutron must be maximum. The gamma ray component needs to be as low as possible to reduce the necessary dose to normal tissue. The ratio of thermal flux to epithermal flux needs to be minimized to reduce damage, and target value for this ratio is 0.05. The ratio between the total neutron current and the total neutron flux provides a measure of the fraction of neutrons that are moving in the forward direction. and reasonably sized aperture, typically circular, of 12 to 50 centimeters are desirable. Also on the picture you can see the unit of this boron neutral capture therapy. And again, I hope you will not see it in the personal, but you can see it on our research actor. It's better in field. And ROSATOM provides opportunity for international students and our research actor also to come to our university, teach, study, and then it will be practical course on the research actor. So, in conclusion, we can list design requirements, main characteristics for new research reactor with all experience that we have. And the main characteristics of research reactor is a safe operational state, operation modes like startup, power operation, shutdown, fueling, maintenance, and etc. High reliability and maintainability of structures, systems, and components, capability to test systems during operation, and radiation protection and waste management with carefully planned commissioning, operation, maintenance, and decommission strategies that are all needed to follow to safely operate the reactor. Maybe it will be useful for you in your work. Okay, thank you for your attention. I'm done.
Thank you very much, Nikita. And we give the floor to Chanto, our nuclear education ambassador, who will tell us about his nuclear studies in Russia.
All right. So please, I will move my slide to the very first page. So am I visible and audible? Yeah. So I suppose. All right. So good morning, Professor. Good morning, colleges, and
Yes, it's fine.
Savadi Tukun. Yeah. Savadi Tukun to student in loud. So I believe that, okay, first, allow me to introduce myself a little bit first. My name is Chanto Kun, and currently I am a student of Nuclear Power Engineering and Thermal Physics at National Research of Nuclear University, MEPhI, and I am learning from Upnin branch. So I believe that some students in lab probably have heard about nuclear. If you haven't heard, then I think Professor Udalova also talked about a brief introduction about nuclear technology. So you basically have some idea in school. But unlike me, for me, when I was in high school, I didn't know much about this nature. It remained low in Cambodia as well. And I believe that in Laos probably might be the same, or like I might be wrong. But anyway, I didn't know much during that time. What I know about nuclear, when I heard the word nuclear, I tend to think that it is something related with the weapons. But then eventually, after I graduated from high school, I found an opportunity about scholarship in Russia. So back to the time, it was in 2021, I wanted to apply for Russian government scholarship, but it was closed already. It was too late. Then there's another scholarship. It was opening. It was a scholarship for language preparation course in MGIMO. It's University for International Relations at the time, but I studied there for language, Russian language only. So and then, because that scholarship it was only for a year, I need to think about what I'm going to choose after I finish my language preparation course. So I found one of the most interesting subject. It was nuclear. I learned about nuclear energies and nuclear industry, about the purpose and potential of this industry, what I can do after I graduate, and what it can do in general. So on 2022, I decided to apply for Russian government scholarship for bachelor degree in nuclear power engineering and thermal physics. And just a brief information, if you are finishing high school, or probably you know someone who is finishing high school and they want to apply for Russian government scholarship, then it is a good time for them because it is currently opened. And for Cambodia case, I think probably the same or similar to Lao case. So probably the deadline around January, so mid-January or late January. So it's depend on the country. So if you want to learn more, stick around to the end because I will tell you how to apply and where you can apply as well. All right, next. Just like I mentioned earlier about why did I decide to choose nuclear, the main reason of it because of the purpose of nuclear. So when I talked to my family that I want to pursue the degree, they also didn't know much about the degree, but then I've explained it to them that, we can do a lot of things with this industry, even like in energy, it's one of the most clean energy source of energy production compared to coal and oils. And we can also do in nuclear medicine, food radiation, like Professor Udalova delivered earlier. And not only that, it also has things to do with aerospace and also criminal investigation as well, because they use radiation to track the fingerprints and identify the criminals. So you can see these are the potential that we can do with nuclear energy. And since then, after I enrolling in this major, I received so many opportunity to expand my knowledge, to expand my skills, soft skills and hard skill. So the first picture, it was me. It was I think digital training that provided by my university. One thing that I love about studying in Russia, they provide more than your technical skill, but also some other skill like media training and like art training as well. I joined in singing training and media video editing and graphics design training that provide from a university. At the time, I was the only foreigner in my group, but my Russian friend, they were so helpful. So after that, I also received so many opportunities from abroad. I got to join a seminar in China for green energy development for Cambodia. During that seminar, they also mentioned a lot about potential nuclear development of nuclear industry in Cambodia. And I joined a conference in International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, about international nuclear security, opening text, winter school, summer school, and Atomic Week. And this picture, I hope you guys can see my cursor that is moving. The picture, me and my classmate, we received an opportunity to visit world first nuclear power plant that it was located in Obninsk, the city that I am currently studying in. And not only that, I am a Russian nuclear education ambassador, so I got to become a moderator to develop my speaking skill, public speaking skill in various webinars. For example, as you can see on this page, I was a moderator for nuclear education and careers, provided by, it was organized by Russian nuclear education ambassador. And just like I mentioned earlier, I also got opportunity to participate in various training courses. This one provided by Moscow State University. So it was about radiochemistry, about nuclear waste management, and student also got opportunity to participate in a foreign student, especially to participate in various competition programs. For example, I participated in Russia and I was one of the prize winner. And another event that I attended was World Youth Festival. I got to show to all people from other countries about my culture, about my country, and connect with other people from different industries as well. So these are just a brief event that I have joined, but there are actually more that couldn't fit in this page. But yes, actually, I receive a lot of opportunity from a university and from the major that I am choosing and studying in general. Next, I would like to talk about the scientific activity that you can achieve when you're studying in Russia. For my university, for example, I think last 2 weeks, my university, they hosted a conference that is called Atom Futures. So if you are a person who enthusiastic about doing research about seeking for development of yourself, then I think you come to the right place in Russia in general. The professors and all the staff here in the university, they are willing to help you if you are willing to present a paper, for example. So there's a lot of opportunity. As long as you're willing to do it, you commit to do it, then yes, there's so many opportunity for you. I also include some few tips if you want to do more scientific activities in Russia. You can find a mentor, connect with scientific advisors, can be the professor from university, or you can ask the professor from the university to find a good supervisor for you that relates to the topic that you would like to do. And you can also follow some university website, academic groups, and specific Telegram, Wiki channels. Me, for example, all the event that I participated, most of them I received those information from my university, from the opportunity group on Telegrams and Wikis. They post it regularly, so we need to stay updated with all of those pages so that you can get alert when there are news opportunities come. So ask around, don't be shy, be more proactive, try to ask to your teachers, to senior students, seek for their help, ask for their own experience, how can they get this opportunity, how can they get to do scientific activity, how did they do it successfully. So try to ask them. Don't be shy, don't be nervous, because asking is actually a part that can lead you to success on doing things. And start from small. You don't have to start in a very big research, like a real scientist research. No, just start by small, probably doing some collect data and analyze those data, or you probably can start with literature review. You don't have to start with such a big research, so you will get burnout later because you couldn't achieve what you want. So just start small and don't go too big for when you start doing your first research. And check for support. So probably a university, they can offer you grants or travel funds to cover conference fees for the student, or you can ask the organizer themselves. They might cover you as well. Next, why you should consider to study nuclear in Russia. So Russia is well known for, I would say, in nuclear in general as well. You know that there are 3 countries, and 1 country has signed an agreement deal with to build a nuclear power plant in Russia. And for Southeast Asia in general, it's a really good news because Vietnam recently they signed an agreement deal with Rosatom to build a nuclear power plant. So Laos is also a country close to Vietnam, Cambodia as well. So we might have like a potential to learn more from Vietnam of how they do it in the future. Yes. So first, one of the main points that you should consider to study in Russia is because of the long history of leading nuclear power. So back to 1954, the world's first nuclear power plant in Obninsk was built and connects to the grids. And it was the world's first commercial nuclear power plant that connected to the grid. So you can see they are leading in this industry. And 3 new nuclear power plants, VVO 1,200, are building in 3 different countries, such as Turkey, Egypt, and Bangladesh. So you see they are leading in this industry. And I watch videos as well, and why Russia is the country that leading in this industry. And in that video, they mentioned that in the construction of nuclear power plant in general, Russia can supply pretty much everything from uranium enrichment, building the nuclear power plant itself, provide technical support. So everything Russia can cover. So that is why Russia is leading in this industry. And grad schools. So when you check the QS ranking or like other website that provide ranking of the university, you basically can in nuclear science field, you basically can see Russians university, they are top lead in this field. So they provide really good school, and they also provide in 2 languages. Russian language, you can study in Russian language or in English language. And besides learning theoretically, you can also receive an opportunity to practice in real time. Or you have like labs and internship. For me, this picture, it was this summer when we had like summer internship in world first nuclear power plant. We got to see some equipment in real nuclear power plant, and we also receive really useful lectures about nuclear in general. Also good for Korea. The degree that you receive from Russia, it actually will be accepted from everywhere in the world. So yes, I think this is the main point that you should consider to pursue your degree in Russia in general. And which I talk about like what you should consider. Now I'm gonna tell you how can you apply for the scholarship. So there are various ways that you can apply to study in Russia. First one is open door. This one basically for master degree and PhD student. But if you are not a master student, or you are not planning to apply for master or PhD, you can still apply for to study in Russia by using another portal, Education in Russia. It is currently opening, and for this you have to do the exam, but it depends on the countries as well. For Cambodian case, we have to do an interview and a small test. Make sure that you know about what are we applying before the final decision from Russian Ministry of Education. They accept you to study in Russia. And so if you want to learn more, scan the QR code, and then you will definitely check all the university that they provide nuclear majors. And not only that, this one is already reached the deadline. It was still, but if you are planning to apply next year or next 2 years, then this might be another option for you for Rosatom Olympiads, that you can apply with MEPhI university, the university that I am studying in. And how you can apply for this. So this step that I am showing is actually the step that you need to do for Education in Russia on Education in Russia website. First, you need to choose your program and the university that you like. Once again, before you choosing any university, you need to check the curriculum of that university, check the background of the university, alumni probably. So check it precisely before choosing any university. But for me, I would like to recommend you guys to choose opinions or like MEPhI in general, because it's also a good university, or Tomsk or St. Petersburg. So check the university that you like and fit with your background the most before you start applying. After you found it, you can start prepare for your documents. So actually the document that you have to prepare, there are 2 stages currently. So for first stage, you need to prepare your passport and your high school diploma. So for second stage, you need to prepare for medical checkup, HIV negative test, translation of your transcript, translation of your diploma and translation of your passport. But most majority of the complicated documents only required for second step. And then after you prepare all the documents, you can submit your applications, and then you just wait. If you get selected, then you will receive an email from the organizer, from the committees. And after you successfully receive that you are admitted to study in Russia, then just get ready, pack your luggage, pack your bag, get ready to receive an invitation and apply for a visa. Next, you will be in Russia. And regarding to stipend, this is also one of the most important things for students, I think. So you cannot survive here without money, of course. So you need some money, yeah. So for stipend, there are so many different ways that you can receive it, probably from your own government that they can support you, or you can also apply for state academic scholarship as well. And I am also one of the scholar for this state academic scholarship. So I apply through my university portfolio portals, and eventually, yes, I received this scholarship. And these scholarship provide for high academic performance and achievement student. And the quota for this scholarship, they choose top 10% of the students. And if you are a woman and you are pursuing master degree in STEM degree, STEM is STEM. I know probably some of you know, but if you don't, STEM it actually stands for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So if you are pursuing in one of these fields, then you can apply for Marie Curie Fellowship that provided by IAEA. And yeah, besides these two, but only for specific categories only. For if you're a woman pursuing in master degree, in STEM degree, and your GPA must be 3.0 to 4.0, our 4.0. And there's also another opportunity to receive stipends from the university as well. So just keep updated with the university, try to ask them if in case you studying here, try to ask them like, how can you increase your stipend? Are there any other possible way that you can increase your stipend? So these case is depend on the university that you're studying in. And beside that, beside doing your academic things, you can also get to involve in student community. For me, for example, I am a Russian Nuclear Education Ambassador. So Russian Nuclear Education Ambassador, our goal, we raise more awareness on this topic. Like I mentioned earlier, when I was in high school, I didn't know much about nuclear industry, about nuclear energy, about nuclear technology. I didn't know much. But then since I got here, I got to learn more, and the love of this subject has grown a lot to me. And give a voice change things to the university because it actually is a student community, so we can suggest to change things that fit well for international student. And it also have you to learn new skill outside class. You can grow like public speaking skill, some hard skill, graphic design, video editing, or probably content writings, for example. These are the skills that you might have to pay in order to learn the skill, but by doing, it's also help you to learn as well. What do you expect from these type of activity from student communities? So you will going to build a really good CV. You know, when you go into, after you graduate from your bachelor degree, if you don't have any experience, it will be hard for you to find a job. So if you have any experience, like I have experience to do teamwork when I was in my bachelor degree in a student community. So it also help you to boost your CV after this as well. And learn by doing, like I mentioned earlier, that you can improve your skill and in like hard skill and soft skill. Soft skill can be like teamwork, leadership, and communication skill, for example. And you grow your network. So for Russian Nuclear Education Ambassador, there are students from different countries. I think almost 30 countries, I suppose. So we got to know more each other, learn more about each other's culture, history, for example. And when you have a good network, you can always ask like to learn from them, learn from the experience, and so on and so forth. So if they have like job or internship, they probably can tell you to apply for it as well. So these are the long-term benefit that you can have later. Who knows? And of course, have more fun. The people from the student community, they are so fun, nice, and kind. So it also helps you to release from your stressful uh, works from school as well. And last but not least, there's another point that's talk about opportunities. So by joining a student community, you will have some exclusive chances. Probably they have like an internship opportunity or grants or conferences that you can join. As you can see in the picture, that these are the Russian nuclear education ambassador. We joined World Atomic Week early this year. It was in September this year. And not only that, I actually have seen a lot of opportunity from a university that you can pitch your idea to university. If they like your idea, you can start your own startup as well. These are the real things that you can try to think about new idea new innovations that you can solve to specific problem. Pitch these ideas to any competition event from your university, so you might can start your own business. Who knows? Yeah. And it's now reconnaissance, and I also received uh I'm sorry, a personal letter from CEO of Rosatom, Alexei Legachev, for the work. So you basically get recognized of what you did and what you have done. So making a difference. So we can run volunteer projects or even that's really matters. Like for example, promoting nuclear industry because we need more people in this industry, and we also need more public acceptance of these nuclear energies as well, because people they don't really want to do nuclear because they're afraid of the radiations and stuff. But indeed, nuclear energy, it's not really scary as much as what people think. If we talk about the data itself, the people who passed away because of the radiation sickness or acute or radioactive materials remain low compared to those who are suffering because of the carbon dioxide released from the coal, oils, and gas to the atmosphere that can cause you lung cancer and other diseases with your breath. The numbers remain low, so we should go nuclear. And not only that, currently our planet is facing with two major problems with climate change and global warming. So that is why we need to promote more about nuclear education and nuclear energies in general. That is how we are making different to promote more and making more public acceptance about this industry. So that's pretty much it. If you are interested to learn more about Russian nuclear education ambassador, or you probably want to know to see how education in Russia looks like, go follow our Facebook page, Instagram, and VK, or probably check our YouTube. On our YouTube, we also post podcasts as well and some activities on there. Currently, we have released two latest episodes of our podcast about different topics. First one is about the icebreakers. So if you want to learn more about icebreakers, then don't forget to check it out. Or you interested in ITER, it is a fusion project in France, I suppose, and Russia is also a country that that is involved in this project as well. So if you want to learn more in these different topics, so don't forget to check it out. And I think that's pretty much for my time. Thank you so much for your attention, and I hope to see you guys later.